Hi there. Hello, hello, hello. How is everyone? Thanks for joining. Got Debbie, we got Julie, we got Gillian, we got Keith, we got Yvonne, and we're also live on Facebook and YouTube. We are going to practice our Qigong flow for our Tuesday morning. We'll do a little bit of warm up as usual, a little bit of balance, and then we'll do our 5-element flow with a real focus on that light, soft, just easy breathing in and out through the nose as we work through the practice. So let's find ourselves comfortable standing position, plenty of space around you. And we'll start off with, let me just angle that camera a little bit more so I can see better, that's better. We'll start off with just a bit of gentle shaking. So just with the feet in contact with the ground and just using the legs as pumps and the arms, just relaxing the shoulders, letting the shoulders move about a little bit. And then just breathing easy in and out through the nose. And then a couple of breaths, slightly fuller, so a fuller breath in, and just a sigh out. It's like a really nice morning sigh. Nice day ahead, looking forward to whatever comes along. Nice full breath in. Really see if you can free up the shoulders, let the shoulders free up a little bit. Just do one more, slightly fuller breath. And let go. Gradually slowing down. And then just stand for a moment. Just opening the shoulders, bringing the palms facing forwards a little bit. And just feel any sensations in the body, running through the body, any tingling sensations. And have that sense too of inner smile. So just relaxing the face, softening the face. And then just bringing awareness to the ground, where you're standing, where you're feeling stable and balanced, and connecting through the feet, through the heels, through the balls of the feet into the ground. Just keeping a softness in the knee, relaxing the thighs, relaxing the calves. And then contrasting that with the connection to the sky. Just get that idea of just lengthening and lifting the crown from the crown of the head. But keeping a softness in the front of the body. So visualize a strong spine, strong, energized backbone, spine, but a soft, relaxed front, relaxed shoulders, soft face. And then if you're not already, take your feet about shoulder width apart, bringing into mind that connection with the ground and connection with the sky. Visualize the spine as a strong central axis to your structure, your standing structure here. And then we rotate around that axis. So just gradually start rotating. And that movement comes from the feet connected to the ground, and particularly starting from the ball of the foot You've got weight through the heel, obviously. The heel is a really supportive structure for the rest of the body. The spine stays strong, but also, because we're getting some rotation through it, feel the flexibility in that rotation. It's key that we have this central axis so that we get the most fluid movement. And then letting the arms bend a little bit at the elbows, and you're just tapping across the belly. And also just that back hand is just tapping, back of the hand just on the back of the body. And we're breathing just easy in and out through the nose. Knocking on the door of life. So getting that blood flowing, energy flowing. Also cleansing and clearing the toxins in the body. Movement and breath help to clear the toxins, help with lymphatic drainage. Keeping connected to the earth, or the ground through the feet, and the sky through the crown of the head. Breathing naturally in and out through the nose. Just let the breath be natural. And then gradually just slowing it down, and bringing a little bit of resistance to the arms. So it's a bit like moving your arms through clouds or through water. And I really like to focus on the spirals through the ankles here, working up the body, through the knees, in the hip joints, and the spirals and the rotations through the spine, all the way up the spine, and the shoulder joints, elbows, wrists and fingers. Gentle movement in the head and the neck. So the whole idea of these movements is to cleanse and clear and unlock any tightness in the joints, oil the joints, and get the energy flowing, get the blood flowing. And then slow it down. And just take a moment just to balance. You can move around a little bit if you need to move around a little bit. And then we'll do the bear walk, where you are bringing the fists lightly together there. We'll step to one side, you step to one side. Extend the spine, extend, lift the sternum, lift your heart up towards the sky. And then have a little bit of rotation through the spine, and then step back. Same thing the other side. Step forwards, balance, shift the weight, extend the spine. Make sure you extend the spine here before you rotate and look around. Keeping those shoulders Think how you're balanced. So you balance on that forward leg, most of the weight on that forward leg. We've got a soft knee, not locking the knee out. Then you shift the weight back, and then we swap sides. Balance on the forward leg, soft knee. Get some movement through the spine. Let's do one more each side. And then take a rest. Again, just give yourself a moment just to see what it feels like in the body. And then we'll do a little bit of dog wags the tail. So if you're not already, step your feet out to about shoulder width again. Start by shifting the weight side to side. Remember on this one, we're not doing this. This tends to happen a lot as you start to shift the hips like this. Is just shifting the hips, and to start off with, just get the shoulders over the hips so you can feel the weight there. Then you're using this side to push yourself to the other side. So you're using the floor to push yourself side to side, and then you just free up the spine. So you get that little bit of a wave through the spine, but still using the ground, pushing into the ground. So we're looking at that, what we call lateral flexion, that side to side movement of the spine. Working your way up the spine as well. Still keep the spine long. Keep lifting from the crown. And the power is coming from here, from the center. There's a big difference if I start to move the shoulders. That's very different if I'm leading from the shoulders or if I'm leading from the head. But everything comes from the center here, and then the spine just sits on top, and we get that nice, again, fluid movement through the spine. Very gentle at the head and the neck. But that's the top point, that's the final point that follows through. Good, and then slow it down. Slow it down. Take a moment. We'll just do a little bit more balance, and then we'll go into our 5-element flow. So feet comfortably apart. I'll show you version 1 first. We can balance, I'll mirror you on your left leg. Shift the weight to that left leg. You can just peel the heel so you can still keep balanced with that ball of the right foot on the ground, and just lift up the elbow. So you're just lifting up that same side, but you've got the majority of weight through here, through your left leg. And then we swap sides, shift the weight, stabilize first, balance. Shift the weight, stabilize, balance. Use this opposite arm. It's quite nice to use this opposite arm with a little bit of intention here, so that helps to stabilize. Shift the weight. Only peel the heel when you're confident that you're stable on that side. Shift the weight. Now, because this is a balanced practice, if you are comfortable, we'll shift the weight and we'll lift. And then swap sides, shift the weight, balance and stabilize and lift. Now it's alright if there's a little bit of a wobble, please don't fall over. Little bits of wobbles are good because brain sends lots of signals through the body to say, hey, I need to learn, and I need to learn new things, and I need to learn how to balance. So as long as it's safe and you're wobbling and you don't fall over, that's fine. If it's a real struggle, just go back to how we started the movement. And then just go comfortably side to side. Let's do a couple more. and then just take a rest. I was playing around with this one yesterday, actually, fascinatingly, when I was running. And again, if you are running, don't overthink things, because you can be overthinking things and trip over. But when we balance, when we lift this leg up, what we often think of is, I'm lifting the knee. So the intention comes from lifting the knee. But what I'd like you to play around with is think where the bone is in the hip socket. And rather than you lifting the knee, think of this end of the lever of that bone dropping down. And it's a big difference. So actually you keep long as this bit of the leg drops down in the hip. And I can do that really easily on that side. On this side, it's like, I really want to lift the knee, but it's a really subtle difference. But just have that in mind, and we'll just practice that balance again. So as I'm stabilising on this side and lifting this side, this bit of the bone in the hip is levering down, so it keeps you nice and tall. And then swap sides, dropping down. So have a little think of that in your mind. It just helps to keep, I don't know, it just helps to keep the body long and tall and open. Maybe it's just me, maybe it doesn't matter to anybody else. But it's just a really subtle difference, rather than lifting the knee. So a couple more each side. Keeping tall. Good, and then take a rest. Have another little bit of a shake. Shake out the legs. And we'll go into our 5-element flow, the second 5-element flow that we've practiced. So all of the stuff that we've just done now is all about oiling the joints, using our bodies to move the energy around the body. The idea when we go into a flow state is that the energy is moving you, the breath is moving you. And you know, if you go running or if you go out walking, or just you have that general sense of effortlessness when you're doing something, that's that sort of like flow state. And we can practice that by doing these simple Qigong movements. So taking your feet shoulder width apart. First movement, soaring crane. So palms facing the ground there. Opening up. Rotating shoulders, elbows connecting thumb and forefinger, closing in, and then just repeating that movement. Remembering also with these movements, it's a whole body movement, so we're not just moving the arms here. Notice what happens through the whole of the body. It's like that sense of the whole body breathing. Breath in as you expand. Light, soft, easy breath in. Not big breath, just a soft, gentle breath. Just breathe the amount of air that you need, no more, no less. And breath out. Notice perhaps that subtle rock forwards and backwards. Again, not trying to do anything in any particular way, just allowing things to happen. As you are breathing in, think of bringing all of that fresh oxygen, fresh energy into the blood, into the system, into the lungs. And as you breathe out here, rather than thinking of clearing breath, think of concentrating the energy that you've just breathed in into every single cell in the system. So that exhale is an energizing, concentrating movement or action. And you can slowly just bring your arms a little bit lower. So we're focusing a little bit more in the lower area of the lungs, in the lower ribs, in the back of the body. Couple more. And then just take a rest before we move into the next movement. And remember that you just go at your own comfortable rhythm, your own comfortable pace, your own comfortable flow with this. Next movement, placing one arm on your lower back. And then next we start with our other back of the hand facing the forehead. We move from the hips and the waist, so we rotate from the hips and the waist, hinge forwards, creating that nice big circle called Zen circles. Keeping that back long as you hinge forwards. Shoulders relaxed and soft, just breathing. Easy. If it works for you, you can breathe out as you hinge forwards, breathe in as you reach up, or just breathe comfortably, soft and light in and out through the nose. Same movement but without the hinge forwards, so just rotation through the hips. So without that hinge forwards, no hinge forwards at the hips now. Just rotation through the hips, no hinge forwards. And then transition smoothly to go in the other direction with the hinge forwards. Keeping soft in the knees, just letting the knees bend as required. Next move, just keep rotating at the hips but not hinging forwards. So just rotation through the hips. Still creating that circle with the arm. No hinge forwards. Tall through the spine. Zen circles. Good name. And then take a rest. Next movement, repel the monkey. So we're going to again rotate at the hips, one palm facing up and forwards, the other palm facing up and backwards. And then bring that back hand or the back palm past the ear, down the opposite arm, crossing hands. That hand then comes towards the ribs and then we just swap sides. So it's repelling the monkey, so you're pushing away there, and then just go side to side. Another great one for that twist through the body, that spiral, that rotation. Keep balanced on top of the hips. So when we push forwards, we're not overreaching forwards, just keep balanced on top of the hips. Shoulders balanced over the hips, nice and stable. And just breathing easy. Couple more. Then taking a rest. Give yourself a moment. Next movement, again, all the work is through the hips and the waist. One back of the hand towards the forehead. There's some space there, so you're not connecting to the forehead. And we rotate to that same side and we push away. And then we swap sides. Fingers to elbow, rotate. And keep again the shoulders over the hips. So working through that central rotation axis of the spine. Watch that we're not overreaching or leaning back. Nice and tall through the spine. Fair maiden works the shuttle. Smooth movement, just breathing easy. Couple more. And take a moment before our final movement of pebble in the pond, single hand pebble in the pond. So again, moving from the hips and the waist. Couple more. And then just finishing, bringing your hands together, connecting the thumbs, resting on your lower belly. Just taking a moment. Just closing your eyes, bringing your feet together. Allowing the body to rock and sway, spiral. And then just taking a slightly fuller breath in, opening your eyes at the top of the breath. And that half an hour went really, really quickly. I just looked at the clock and it's like, wow, it's nearly 8:30. So I'm sorry we've gone over a little bit. And what I will do next week, next Tuesday, is just spend a little bit less time doing the mobilisation, a little bit longer doing the flow, so we can get into the flow a little bit more. But that did go really quick. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you have a fantastic rest of the day. Thanks very much for joining me, and I'll see you on Thursday for a bit more movement and strength focus session. Take care, have a good day.
Thanks, Bruce.
Thank you, bye bye.